تقلق على القروش، قلنا لك هنجيب لك كل القروش كلها زي ما اتفقنا في الصندوق. يلا ما تزعجني يا من الناس. يلا مع السلامة. امشي.
Well, if you will allow me a lapse of modesty, perhaps I might congratulate you on retaining the most prestigious of the UK examining boards. Is that for me? Thank you, Quinn.
As one of your own Englishmen told me one day, Miss Hyde, oysters is amorous, lobsters is lecherous, but shrimps,
Nicholas, are you enjoying yourself? You must meet everyone.
Well, yes, Captain. The Middle East has certainly always been somewhere I've been most eager to visit.
We will pay him as soon as possible by whichever route he finds easiest to conceal. We have every reason to be grateful to our friend
Quinn! What are you staring at? Quinn! Quinn!
Colin Dexter's The Silent World of Nicholas Quinn, with John Shrapnel as Inspector Morse and Robert Glenister as Sergeant Lewis, starring Richard Pascoe and Meg Davis. Dramatised for radio by Guy Merrick.
They think I'm a fool. They treat me like a simpleton. They don't mean to, they do it despite themselves. They don't realise that I notice. They imagine that if one sense is dull, so do all the others. Why me? Why my whole life, and why now? This is somewhere I could have been happy. I could have found friendship. I could have found love. Why has it been ruined for me? Why am I fated to be always apart? Always alone? I hear with my eyes. That is my curse. That and my honesty. Can I forget what I know? Can I live with it? Can I... What? Oh, God, what's... Please. Please help. Please.
29. One more. It's doing you good. Cling on to that. Now just touch the handle of the pool and turn.
Sir? Sir? You all right, sir?
What the hell are you doing here, Lewis?
Tracked you down, sir. Would you like a handout?
No, I bloody well would not. I'm perfectly capable of getting myself out of the...
There you go, sir. Steps might have been easier.
Lewis, do you want to go in your suit? What do you mean you tracked me down?
Oh, a bit of detective work. Went over to the Six Bells. Barman said you hadn't been in lunchtimes all last week. And then yesterday you popped in for a quick one around 3 and you had wet hair. So I thought about it, given that it wasn't raining yesterday.
Well, that's brilliant, Lewis.
Thank you, sir. It was really the underlying motive that clinched it. On the face of it, you're not much of a one for exercise. But then again, you might have felt you'd reached an age that...
That what, Lewis?
Well, a lot of men suffer coronaries, particularly if they're overweight. I mean, you might feel better in yourself if...
Lewis, why are you here?
Chief wanted you urgently, sir. We've got a body.
Suicide? Nothing to contradict that, is there? With the crowd outside the curtains, the press are going to be on the blower inside half an hour. No reason I can see for the good citizens of Oxford to be alarmed. Medical opinion?
As a method of doing away with yourself, it's not unknown.
Good. Fingerprints.
Just his on the bottle and the glass.
Excellent. So the sooner you ship him out or some air in, the better it'll be for...
Lewis, yes, I decided that losing a few pounds wouldn't do me any harm.
Morse, how gracious of you. To what do we owe the pleasure?
I was on my lunch break, sir.
Well, if you'd spend it in the pub as per normal, we'd know where to find you, wouldn't we? Poor bugger's named Quinn. Colleague found him when he failed to turn up for work. Fill in the details, would you? And give me a preliminary report by 5.
Certainly, sir. God, poor bugger's right. Knew all about it, whatever it was.
Hydrocyanic acid. Cyanide to you.
Ah, a pathologist with the common touch.
Diluted in a glass of sherry. Drank about half of it.
Any sign of a container?
For the cyanide? Not so far, sir.
Check the kitchen, Lewis.
Sir?
Were those curtains closed when you arrived?
No, Morse. We drew them so we'd have less light to see by. And we lit the gas fire to make it stuffier. I'm turning him over now.
So, he sipped his envenomed cup, slumped out of the armchair, and died on the floor. When exactly?
Exactly, I won't know till I get him back to the lab. Friday, sometime.
4 days ago. He comes home from work, finds his home life no less depressing than his job, and ends it all. Simple and tragic as that. Well?
I'm not a detective, Morse.
But
if you can smell anything at all apart from incipient decomposition, you should take the top off the sherry bottle.
What?
No immediate sign of anything that looks like it might have had poison in it, sir, but...
Take an inventory of the whole bloody flat, Lewis, and leave me alone for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Well?
The cyanide wasn't just in the glass, was it?
And I'll tell you something else that might be of interest.
Yeah?
Our friend here was at least partially deaf.
How'd you figure that one out?
By asking myself a very simple question. Why else would he wear a hearing aid?
And clearly this is the most dreadful loss. Not only to us personally, but to the Foreign Examination Syndicate as a whole. In the short time he was here, Nicholas had already more than proved his worth. I really can't think of anything else to say at the moment. It has come as such a shock.
Have his family been told?
The police were making arrangements while I was at the station. They asked me if he had any other friends here in Oxford.
Any other friends? However we all feel now, we can hardly pretend we extended the hand of friendship to him.
That's not quite fair. For obvious reasons, he wasn't the easiest man to approach.
So we left him alone until, in his desperation...
Oh, come on, Ogilvy, if you're trying to say we're...
Oh, please, Monica. Please, gentlemen. This is no time for recrimination. Even self-recrimination. We must remember Nicholas Quinn for what he was. An esteemed colleague and someone who, given time, would surely have become as important to us as we are to each other.
Quite the best. That's 143.
If we said 150, could I have a head on it?
You what?
Chief Inspector Morse, Thames Valley Constabulary.
Oh.
Look, man lived over the way, early 30s, beard, receding hair.
Yeah, topped himself, they're saying. Is that right?
Was he ever in here?
This is a music pub, isn't it?
That's a matter of opinion.
Look, live music every night. And he was deaf, wasn't he? Saw him on the street, had a hearing aid. Nearly went under a car once. What would he want in here?
Yeah. If it was my local, I'd drink at home too. Ah, Lewis, might I recommend the tomato juice?
Full inventory of the flats.
Oh, very efficient. Have a stool.
No, thank you, sir. I think I'll be off.
Lewis, is everything all right? Have I upset you in some way?
Not at all, sir. I'm delighted to do the sort of work a probationary constable might find tedious.
Oh, yes, I see. Look, you have to forgive me, Lewis. Perhaps I wasn't in the best of moods this afternoon. First you give me the Sherlock Holmes treatment, and then I'm outgunned by a smart Alec pathologist.
Just because he was on the scene first?
No, because he spotted the vital clue that I'm afraid makes your inventory completely useless.
I'm not with you, sir.
There are 2 things everybody knows about cyanide, Lewis. One is that it smells of bitter almonds, the other that it's highly toxic. Agreed?
Yeah, I suppose so, sir.
Now, if you were minded to kill yourself, I think you'd want it over and done with as quickly as possible, wouldn't you? Unless, of course, you were Socrates and had Plato on hand, completing your memoirs. But for most people, though, the sooner the better.
And did Quinn take a long time to die?
I doubt it. But had he wanted to kill himself, he'd simply have dumped the cyanide in a glass, poured some sherry on it, rather than mix up a full litre of lethal Amontillado cocktail.
Are you saying...
I'm saying that whoever put the poison in that sherry bottle wasn't Nicholas Quinn. Which means, in short, that we are dealing with a murder. Come on. Let's find a decent pub on the way home.
Someone poisoned the bottle of sherry. Quinn opened it, poured himself a drink and died.
In that order?
Yeah, but you said yourself, the other thing everybody knows about cyanide is that it smells of bitter almonds.
What do bitter almonds smell like?
Well...
Precisely. Anyway, just because Quinn was deficient in one sense doesn't mean all the others were particularly sharp. He probably tossed it back without sniffing it.
Yeah, but wait a minute, there were only his prints on the bottle. And just the one glass out of it. So if he'd bought the bottle...
Or been given it.
He'd still have opened it himself. You'd have a hard job resealing a bottle of sherry after you poisoned it. Even these supermarket ransom nutters couldn't do that.
Something of a poser, I agree. Well, apply your mind to it, Lewis.
Me?
Unless I'm much mistaken, you feel my attitude towards your talents is overbearing and dismissive.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you should. Because you're right. Perhaps I am prone to hog the glory. Humility is not the easiest of virtues to assume. But I would like you to take the leading hand in this murder investigation, Lewis. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Murdered? But he can't. And who? Was there a burglary, or...?
Not as far as we're aware, sir.
Why would anyone want to kill Nicholas Quinn? Inspector...
As Sergeant Lewis said, Dr. Bartlett, the more we discover about his life, the closer we'll come to answering that question.
Quinn was the most inoffensive man I've ever met. I just
Dr.
can't...
Bartlett, could you tell us something about his work here? In fact, something about the organisation as a whole.
What? Oh, well, the Foreign Examinations Syndicate exists to set and mark exams for overseas GCSE and A-level candidates.
It's part of the university, then?
Not exactly. It has a governing board made up of dons to whom I, as secretary, am answerable. And profits are distributed amongst the colleges.
Does the syndicate make a lot of money?
A reasonable amount. We have to sell ourselves fairly hard to stay ahead of the other examining bodies.
Why don't you just make your questions easier?
I beg your pardon?
Well, if the questions were easier than the ones the other examining boards set, students would choose yours and you'd make more money, wouldn't you?
Sergeant, I don't think you quite understand. Pupils and their schools must want to be examined by the Oxford Syndicate. It's a question of prestige in their own countries.
Oh, I see. Anyway, Nicholas Quinn. What was his job here?
He looked after history and English. He had a degree in one and had taught at school level in the other, which made him ideal. There are only 5 graduates. That's what we call the academic as opposed to the administrative staff. So we each need more than one speciality.
And who are the other graduates, sir?
Donald Martin, who found Quinn's body. He takes care of all social sciences. Philip Ogleby is maths and sciences proper. Monica Height is a linguist. Most other things fall to me.
You all got on with Quinn, did you?
Yes. We were very close to him. I mean, in some ways, we were all that he... Murdered? I just can't believe it.
You were all he had. Is that what you were about to say, sir?
The syndicate, it's like a family. Working together. Day in, day out.
We'll need to do a formal interview with all the graduates, sir. Including yourself.
As I said in my statement, Dr. Bartlett asked me to visit Quinn's flat when he failed to turn up for work for the second day running. The curtains were closed, and there was no answer to his door. I went round the back where there's a row of garages. His car was in one of them. I thought I might as well knock on the back door as well. Then I tried the handle, and it was open.
Must have been quite a shock for you, Mr. Martin.
Well, statistics about mortality, the sort of thing I set questions about all the time, but I'd never seen a dead body in my life. I don't think it's something I shall ever forget.
Why did Dr. Bartlett choose you to call on Quinn?
I don't know. I only wish he hadn't. None of us knew Quinn well.
Really? I had the impression
I mean, we were on pleasant enough terms, but one was never sure, with his deafness.
No, of course. And tell me, what were you doing last Friday evening?
I had dinner at home with my wife. We neither of us went out.
What time do you normally arrive home from work?
Round 6:30, if I'm not working late. Which I wasn't, as it happens.
To your knowledge, Quinn had made few, if any, personal contacts since he came down to Oxford.
He'd only been working here 3 months, but...
To your knowledge?
No.
How could he manage his work here, given his disablement?
Surprisingly well. His hearing had been damaged since birth, apparently, and so he'd learned to cope. But no doubt it was a considerable relief after school teaching.
So he must have been grateful for the appointment.
Yes, I think he was.
Even if he was being poorly paid.
What do you mean?
Dingy flat, clapped-out old car. Quinn was hardly rolling in money.
Not all public servants receive comfortable salaries, Inspector. Academics, I think you'll find, rarely live a life of luxury.
Mr. Philip Ogilvy. And you've been working at the syndicate?
Oh, longer than anyone can remember, Sergeant.
Would you have said Quinn was the suicidal type?
I've been given to understand that you're not investigating a suicide.
We are investigating a death that was intended to look like suicide. Whoever was responsible for it must have known Quinn wasn't a happy man.
And who do you think was responsible for it?
At the moment, we have no idea, Mr. Ogilvy. My question was...
A very good one, Sergeant. No, I wouldn't have said he was happy.
And did he ever confide in you?
Yes, once.
What about?
That's my business.
I don't think...
If I were you, Sergeant, I'd be asking myself a far more obvious question. Cyanide is something of a specialized murder weapon. You'd have to know where to get it and how to use it. You would need some inside knowledge.
You're a chemist by training, aren't you, Mr. Ogilvy?
That I am. That I am.
Come in.
Good morning, Miss Height?
As it says on the door.
Yes, well, yes. Chief Inspector Morse.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Dr. Bartlett has told us of your suspicions. I really can't believe...
No, well, murder is often very hard to credit.
But of all people, there was simply no harm whatever in Nicholas.
You were on first-name terms?
Why not?
I don't know, the syndicate seems a fairly formal sort of place.
I liked him. I think that's allowable within a working relationship.
Well, yes, of course. Look, could I ask, did he have a soft spot for you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I perhaps oughtn't to be so blunt, but...
Do go ahead.
Well, in the cerebral atmosphere of the syndicate, you are an attractive woman, and Quinn might have... Well, that's not to say you wouldn't be an attractive woman in any other atmosphere.
I'm not sure I follow you, Inspector.
What I'm getting at is, I merely...
Thought all female academics were aging spinsters. Do you look like a typical policeman?
I have no idea.
Apart from the elbow patches on your jacket, that is. Inspector, I have no idea what Nicholas felt about me. I only hope he realized that I admired his courage in carrying on a normal life despite his affliction.
Well, quite. Yeah, good. Look, I'm afraid I have to ask you what seems like another impertinent question, but, what were you doing last Friday night?
Was that when he died?
Seems so, yes.
I was at home all evening with my daughter. She could confirm that. You take the word of a 16-year-old, I'm sure.
16?
I married young, Inspector. It was a mistake. It didn't last.
Oh, well, these things happen. We might have to speak to you again, Miss Height, over the course of the next few days, so...
I'm at your disposal, Inspector.
Yes? Well, good.
You have the assurance of Sergeant Dixon, madam, that we shall make every effort to find Timmy.
Tommy?
Tommy. We do a lot of missing tortoise work. Thames Valley's finest will be on the case.
He can't have gone far.
I wouldn't mind, but it was a rabbit last week. Sir?
I'd like to speak to whoever's dealing with the death of Nicholas Quinn.
I see, and your name is?
Roop. Dr. Charles Roop. I'm on the governing board of the Foreign Examination Syndicate. I read about Quinn's death in the paper, and I think I may have some important information.
Of what nature would that be, sir?
I may well have been the last person to see him alive. I also have certain facts regarding his appointment to the Foreign Examination Syndicate. The newspaper piece said there'd be an inquest next Monday. I therefore assume that Quinn's death is in some way unnatural.
Well, I really couldn't comment, sir. I'm only the desk sergeant.
Let me tell you this. However Quinn died, there's some blame to be attached, and I don't want to see the guilty party walking away scot-free.
Who the hell did he speak to? Who the bloody hell did Quinn tell? Oh, God.
السلام عليكم. مكتب الاستثمار الدولي المتميز.
Yes, George Bland, please.
هذا واحد بيكلم انجليزي يلا. جورج براون.
No, I'd like to speak to Mr. George Bland.
بقول لك جورج براون.
Oh, for God's sake. Yes. Ogilvy. What do you want?
I want to know everything you know about Quinn's death, Bartlett.
Most of this must belong to Quinn's predecessor in the job. I mean, if Quinn had only worked there 3 months, he could hardly have amassed this much bump.
I wouldn't bet on it. GCSE English, draft papers, first proofs, first revises, second revises.
I reckon I could pick up a few quick exam passes here, sir.
End up an overqualified pen pusher like Bartlett?
Yeah, perhaps not. Quinn was a curiously anonymous sort, wasn't he? Even at the flat, there was hardly anything personal at all.
Got used to going through life that way, I suppose. People ignored him, he tended to ignore himself. Oh, hello.
What's that, sir?
It's a desk diary. Oh, hardly a budding Pepys, was he? Meeting.
Anything for last Friday, sir?
No. Something for the Thursday, though. Ring FDS 442836.
I'll check the phone number out, shall I, sir?
If it is a phone number, not a set of vital statistics. Talking of which, Lewis, did I mention that Miss Monica Height is...
Sir, did you see this?
What?
In the back of the diary, this envelope. Strictly private and confidential, Mr. G. Bland.
Stealing other people's mail?
Yes, from abroad, sir. 3rd of March postmark, but that's all I can make out. The rest's all squiggly lines.
Arabic, I think you'll find, Lewis. What does the letter say?
Oh, it's in English, at any rate. Al Jamara Education Department. Dear George, many thanks for your summer examinations package. All entry forms ready for dispatch Friday the 20th or at latest 21st. Sincerely yours, another squiggle.
Interesting.
Really, sir? Seems pretty routine to me.
Exactly. So why is it strictly private and confidential? And why was it in Quinn's diary?
Oh, sorry to bother you, sir. Did you get my note about a Dr. Roop? I left it on your desk.
In that case, it's under 300 weight of questions about Dickens and Shakespeare. What did he want?
Said he was a friend of Quinn's and probably the last person to see him alive. Funny thing is, I've just had a woman on the line who claims exactly the same.
Sudden access of popularity. Details, please, Dixon.
It's George Bland. Well? There was no option. You had to kill him. It was the only possible way of keeping it secret. And if anyone else comes anywhere near, you may have to do it again.
Hope you didn't mind coming over to the college. I'm due to start a lecture. But it never does the students harm to build up a sense of expectation.
I never remember any of my old lecturers beginning on time. So, you were a friend of Quinn's, Dr. Roop?
Well, a friend might be putting it a little strongly, but ally, certainly. We were both from the same part of the country, Bradford.
Yeah.
I'd never met him before he came down to Oxford, but Yorkshiremen tend to stick up for each other.
So I'd heard. How did you stick up for Quinn, exactly?
By landing him his job, more or less. I'd been on the governing board of the Foreign Examination Syndicate for a year or so. The meeting where Quinn was eventually appointed, he was one of 6 candidates. For me, Yorkshireman or not, he was easily the best qualified. However, not everyone was of the same opinion.
His deafness counted against him?
You would have thought in these days of equal opportunities. Some people might as well be living 100 years ago.
You wouldn't be referring to Dr. Bartlett by any chance?
To be honest, we've never seen eye to eye. He wants the syndicate to rest on Oxford tradition. I say, if it's going to be the best, we should make our syllabuses relevant to the modern world.
History questions about the Gulf War, you mean?
Well, I suppose so, for example.
I get the impression that a lot of the syndicate's business is in the Middle East, is that right?
Well, it's where much of the world's wealth is concentrated.
And, Al Jamara. Does the syndicate have a contract there?
I'm not sure. I think it might. That will be a question for Bartlett or his staff.
Of course. So you say you saw Quinn last Friday afternoon?
Yes. That is, I saw more evidence of him than I saw of anybody else at the syndicate.
I don't understand.
Well, I've been in London all morning with my publisher. On the train journey back, had annotated some reports for the syndicate and had to drop them off.
What time was that?
I caught a taxi from the station. It would have been about 4:30. When I arrived at the syndicate, there were admin staff upstairs, of course, but none of the graduates were in their office. Then I bumped into Noakes.
Noakes?
The caretaker. We decided the best thing was to leave the notes for Bartlett when he came back.
Bit unusual to find no one there at 4:30 in the afternoon, isn't it?
Very. But as I say, Quinn was obviously somewhere close by. His anorak was on the back of his chair, and I noticed his car in the car park. I would have hung on to talk to him, but I had a 5 o'clock tutorial back here.
And, what would you have talked to him about?
Well, I asked him how he was getting on. Knowing that Bartlett hadn't wanted him there in the first place,
You think Bartlett was capable of taking it out on Quinn personally?
Look, it probably sounds as though I'm being the usual bitchy academic. But yes, I think if Nicholas Quinn was driven to suicide, Bartlett could have been one of the prime causes.
As it happens, suicide isn't the possibility we're looking at.
But I thought, an inquest? You don't mean...
Just how vindictive do you think the Secretary of the Syndicate is, Dr. Roop?
Oh, no. Not that. No. No.
Poor Mr. Quinn. I couldn't believe it when I read the newspaper.
So you weren't exactly a friend of his?
I was friendly with him. I'm friendly with everyone I do cleaning for. Excuse me not asking you in, but my Fred's coughing something rotten.
No, I'm fine just here. And you always clean Quinn's flat on Friday afternoons?
Between 4 and 6, regular. Except last Friday, because of Fred's bronchitis, I had to break off and go to the chemist. And I thought, when Mr. Quinn gets back at 5:30, when we normally have our little chat, he'll wonder where I am, won't he?
So you didn't actually see him that day?
Well, what I did was I left him a note saying I was going to finish the hoovering. Left it on the sideboard and he must have read it.
How do you know?
Because when I got back from the chemist, it was gone, and he'd left me a note in its place.
A regular correspondence. Can you remember what Quinn's note said?
I don't need to. I got it here. Kept it in my pinny, you see.
Just off shopping, shan't be long, NQ.
Quality supermarkets open till 9 of a Friday night.
And you didn't see him when he returned with the shopping?
No, I finished up and left by 7. Wanted to get home with the Linctors. Not this seems to be doing much good.
Can I keep this note, Mrs. Evans?
No good to me, is it? Poor Mr. Quinn. I used to love our little natters, I really did.
Who, when, how, why, and where? Those are what you always say are the classic questions, sir. Well, where is obviously in his flat. How, by cyanide poisoning, and when, sometime after Mrs. Evans left at 7 o'clock on Friday night. Though how, whoever it was, managed to get the cyanide into the bottle, that's the shaky point, isn't it? Sir?
What's the time, Lewis?
5:30.
Then perhaps we could have a drop ourselves for inspirational purposes. There's a half-litre of whiskey in the top drawer of the filing cabinet.
I thought you were sworn to the healthy life, sir.
Well, the efficacy of that has yet to be proven, Lewis. Here, use the coffee cups.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'll abstain. The hard stuff has never really been my...
Do as you're told, man.
Sir?
So, Quinn spends all day at the syndicate, except that he wasn't in his office when Root called, but there was evidence that he was around and about, unlike his colleagues. Cheers.
Cheers.
And you're convinced that when he returned home that evening, he had a visitor. And that visitor is the murderer.
Well, it has to be, don't it, sir?
What do you think of the whiskey? Single malt.
Oh, it's very nice, sir.
Very nice. Anyway, the main outstanding problem would then be who that visitor was and what on earth they had against him. We don't know a lot about Quinn, but we do know he wouldn't say boo to a goose. However, that isn't quite the point at issue.
Then what is, sir?
The fact that you're dead, Lewis.
I beg your pardon, sir?
You've finished your whiskey. If I'd poisoned the bottle, you'd be a chalk mark on the floor by now.
Yeah, but so would you, sir.
Aha, no, I haven't touched mine. I raised it to my lips, but I haven't swallowed any. And if I'd wiped the bottle before you came into the office, it would only have your prints on it because you are the one who poured the drinks out.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So now I pour my drink away, wash up the cup, and there is no evidence of a second person present at all.
But it's not quite a parallel situation, is it, sir? I mean, I'm in your office and you told me where to find the bottle. We're saying that someone brought a bottle round to Quinn's flat and gave it to him.
We or you?
Have you got another theory, sir?
Where's Al Jamara, Lewis?
No idea, sir. Hello, Chief Inspector Morse's office.
It's an atlas on one of those shelves. Ah, yes.
Yes, of course. Who's speaking, please? Sir, it's Monica Height.
Is it now? Look, take this and improve your education. Hello? Morse?
Let's see.
Yes?
Alipur, India,
What is it you?
Alistati,
No, that's fine by me.
Greece,
No, I see
Al-Jamara,
that.
country, map
Thank you for
23.
Well, well, Lewis. What do you make of that?
Just a second, sir. Oh, yeah. Yes, there. That little pink one, just to the right of the second A in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah, jolly. I meant about the phone call.
Oh, what does she want?
Ms. Monica Height would like to see me. This evening.
What for, sir?
Well, maybe she's got some information about the case. Or perhaps she's just after my body. I'll let you know.
The French syllabus for next year should include at least 2 works by contemporary writers, as well as the usual classic selection of poetry by authors such as Baudelaire, Verlaine, Mallarmé.
I love it when your lips do that.
What do you want, Donald?
All that French business. It reminds me...
In the first place, you could knock before you come in. And in the second...
Did you do it?
Do what?
Did you phone him?
Yes, it's fixed.
Good. I know you'll see us through this. Won't you?
Come on, Morse. It's doing you good. Up and down, up and down. Al-Jamara. Arabic. Right to left. Top to bottom. No, but check it out. Check it out. 1 down, 29 to go. Got to reach the peak of condition.
Will you be eating?
Well, just a drink at the bar for the moment, though I'm sure perhaps...
Yes, I'd love to.
Really? Good. Well, why don't you leave us the menu and,
Gin and tonic, please.
And, some sort of beer? Maybe low alcohol?
That's very abstemious of you, Inspector.
Well, I like to keep myself in trim, you know. So, Miss Height.
Monica, please.
Yes. What was it you wanted to tell me? I presume it's something to do with Nicholas Quinn.
You asked me yesterday at the syndicate whether Nicholas was interested in me. I said I had no idea.
And that wasn't true?
Well, not exactly. I got the impression fairly soon after he took up the job that he would have liked us to have a personal relationship.
I see. And you were unwilling?
When we first heard about his death, I felt as though... Well, I felt almost as though I'd pushed him to it.
When everyone assumed it was suicide.
Are you certain it wasn't?
I'm afraid so.
1 gin and tonic and a low-alcohol beer. There'll be a table free very shortly.
Oh, thank you. And how could you guess Quinn's intentions?
Well, that's not difficult for a woman, Inspector. Asking me out to drinks at lunchtime, coming into my office without a particularly good reason.
How did you deal with it?
Not very easily, as I said. I admired his courage, and I also felt sorry for him, but I couldn't... Well, I couldn't bring myself to...
No, I understand.
I'm not sure you do, Inspector. You don't have enough information. You don't know enough about the syndicate.
What do you mean?
Well, there were 5 graduates at the syndicate. We work closely together. It's a bit like a family.
You're the second person who said that.
Am I? Well, there is one important way in which it differs. There are no blood ties.
And thus no taboos on incest.
If you want to put it that way.
Who? No, forget it. None of my business.
That's a very unusual thing for a detective to say.
Well, go on then. Who's the lucky man?
I think you can guess. It's hardly likely to be Dr. Bartlett or Philip Ogleby.
Donald Martin? But he's married, isn't he?
Well, that's why I called a halt to it. I couldn't go on.
And the other members of the syndicate knew about you and...
Apart from Nicholas, yes. It's not the sort of place you can keep things quiet.
Why did you want to tell me this?
Because you would have found out sooner or later anyway. And I thought I'd appear less reprehensible in your eyes if I admitted it first.
The table's ready now. Sir, madam?
Well, I'm not sure if...
Oh, can't we? I really was looking forward to spending the evening out. We can talk about other things. I'm sure we must have something in common. Please? I'd like to thank you for a very pleasant evening. And I hope you don't think absolutely the worst of me. I can't really explain why I fell for Donald Martin, except being on my own, needing someone, anyone. I wouldn't want his wife to find out. She doesn't have to, does she?
No. You said it was over. Since when, incidentally?
Since last week.
But last week?
We had a long talk about it, and...
When? Last week?
Well, last Friday.
But... Well, when last Friday?
Friday afternoon. I think perhaps you need to know a little more. This is my house. Could we talk about it over a coffee?
Hello, Inspector. Oh, Sergeant Lewis.
Oh, what? What time is it?
It's just after 11. Shouldn't you be at home with the wife? If you want to work shifts, you could transfer back into uniform.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
I'll get you a coffee before you drive back.
Yeah. No, wait a minute, George. Give me the benefit of your wisdom. It's the Quinn case.
Ah, Morse left you in charge, has he?
Well, not exactly. But he's given me a pretty free hand for once, and I don't want to make any mistakes. Look at this. It's Quinn's desk diary.
Ring FDS 442836.
Written on the day before he died. On the day before, in all likelihood, he invited somebody round for dinner who poisoned him.
Ah, you mean it might have been this FDS chap?
Well, I don't know about chap, but yeah, that was the theory I was working on.
Ah, so who is FDS?
Well, there was one obvious way to find out, and I tried it, but there was no answer.
Oh?
Then I realised something. In the first place, the phone number is written underneath, rather than next to the name. Which wouldn't necessarily mean anything in itself, except that, well, the obvious thing struck me.
Which is?
Quinn was deaf. We don't know how deaf, probably not totally. But he'd hardly ring anyone unless they knew and were used to dealing with his handicap. He hadn't made any friends in Oxford. So where was he before he came here? Look.
Nicholas Quinn, BA, curriculum...
Vitae, yeah, go on.
For the past 3 years, I've been head of the English department at the Frederick Delia School, Bradford.
Stop there. Well?
Ah. FDS. It's not a person after all.
And presumably he would have remembered the phone number of the school he taught at, and so had no need to write it down.
So the number is a separate entry. It's a game, this detection lark, isn't it?
Yeah, I was waiting to ring it again when I dropped off.
Oh, well, go on then. Unless you want me to.
No. Assuming it is an Oxford number after all, it would still have to be somebody he didn't mind appearing at his most vulnerable in front of.
Or else was just desperate to speak to.
Yeah, I suppose so, yes. But either way, whoever it is has got to be high on the suspect list.
Well?
No, there's still nobody...
Hello? Hello? Who is this? Oh, for God's sake.
Is that it? I thought at least you were going to ask them who they were.
I didn't need to. I only spoke to her on the phone a few hours ago. It was Monica Height.
What's the matter, Tom? Can't you sleep? What's worrying you?
Usual business. The syndicate hardly runs itself.
Shall I get you a drink?
No, thanks. I just can't help thinking about Quinn.
I know. It's terrible. Terrible.
And the police. What are they really going to solve?
They have to investigate.
And they'll destroy the syndicate. The years I put in, building it up. If it loses its integrity in the public eye, it loses everything.
But justice must be done. They need to find the murderer.
Well, that's not so difficult. They only need to ask. I'd have to tell them.
What do you mean? Tom?
wasn't intending to bring the Chief's wrath down on you, sir.
What?
Well, I was a bit worried, that was all. Are you sure you feel okay?
Keep asking me that. As it happens, I did have a couple of brandies, if you're not in training.
What did you make of Monica Hyde? I mean, did she have anything important to say? Sir?
Let's take a detour, shall we? I want to have another look at Quinn's flat before we go to the syndicate.
You understand, sir, I'm not saying Monica Hyde definitely killed
Look,
Quinn.
that file on the back seat. Let's have another look at it.
Well, what in particular, sir?
The letter you found in the back of his diary. Read it again.
Oh, yeah, here it is. From Al Jamara Education Department. Dear George, many thanks for your summer examinations package. All entry forms ready for dispatch Friday the 20th or at latest 21st. Sincerely yours.
The letter was postmarked the beginning of March, correct?
Yeah.
So now look in the diary under the 20th of March.
Yeah, but this is Quinn's diary, not George Bland's.
All diaries have the same calendar, Lewis. What day of the week was the 20th of March?
Thursday.
And April?
Sunday.
And just to be on the safe side?
May was a Tuesday. No, but I don't get it. I mean, what's the letter talking about?
Not what it appears to be, clearly. Not reading from left to right. But some of these awkward foreigners don't read that way, do they, Lewis? You take the words in a line from top to bottom.
Dear, many, summer, all.
Try the right-hand side of the page, Lewis.
Good God.
Well?
George, your package ready Friday 21st.
Signed, Squiggle. Someone with a lot of cash to throw around in Al Jamara, presumably, if that's what the package contained. And I would be willing to bet...
Hold on, sir, you're going too fast for me. George Bland was Quinn's predecessor in the job, right?
Right.
And you're saying he was on the take? What for?
A lot of prestige in passing the syndicate's exams, Lewis. That's what Bartlett told us, anyway.
So, Bland fiddled the marking?
Well, that I'm not sure of. Just yet.
But Quinn found him out, found this letter, and worked it out just the way you did.
Loneliness of the long-distance swimmer, Lewis. Here we are. Shay Quinn. Let's take another look around. Just as miserable as ever. Draw the curtains, would you, Lewis?
But it'll be dark.
It'll be as it was when Quinn was found. Now light the gas fire, will you? Use the matches in the hearth. That's what Quinn would have done.
Oh. Not in his first youth, is it?
And then what do you do with the match?
Throw it in this waste paper bin, I suppose.
Where it should join one of its colleagues, the one Quinn actually used to light the fire when he returned from the supermarket after your Mrs. Evans had cleaned.
Yeah, you're right. There it is.
Wasn't on your inventory, though, was it, Lewis? Now,
There's something else in here, too, sir. Scrap of paper.
Really? Lewis, look, when I asked for an inventory to be made...
Ticket of some sort, or half of one. 102 Rear Lounge.
Huh? Let me see it. Well, that's interesting.
Well, he must have found it in his anorak pocket when he came in and thrown it away.
Possibly, but I doubt it. Lie on the floor, would you, Lewis?
Sir?
In front of the armchair. Just where Quinn was discovered. Go on. Now, what do you feel?
Stupid, to be honest.
But look at the fire. The flames have settled down. They were in a direct draft from under the door. Now you're blocking it. So if he tumbled from the chair, as his murderer would have us believe, he would have been sitting with his ankles in that draft.
The least of his problems, I should have thought.
Except that single men living alone are creatures of habit. Believe me, Lewis. I'd be willing to bet whatever you like that Quinn always sat in the armchair on the far side of the fire.
Could I get up now,
So
sir?
either he was being extraordinarily companionable by giving up his favourite chair, or else there was no other guest at all.
Sir?
No other guest, and no Quinn. Not here, not alive.
I don't think... We know he was here, sir. The cleaning
The
ladies...
cleaning ladies saw a note he left her. Didn't see him, though, did she?
Well, what about the woman at the supermarket checkout?
Which woman?
Oh, I went there last night. I haven't had a chance to tell you. She saw Quinn around 6 o'clock.
She can't have.
I don't want to spoil your theory, sir. I know I was going it alone a bit.
I tell you, she can't have, Lewis. Quinn never entered this flat alive on Friday night. I'm convinced of that.
But then how...
Do you remember our experiment yesterday? I tricked you into drinking something which could have been poisoned, yes? As you pointed out, the trick only works if you're on my home territory.
Exactly, sir. But whose home territory could Quinn have been on, and when, if not on Friday night? The pathologist was reasonably
Damn
certain...
the pathologist! I'm in charge of this case, Lewis! Anyway, they can't fix it finer than a few hours at that distance.
With respect, sir, you seem to be dismantling everything we've built up.
Everything you've built up, Lewis.
But you don't have anything solid to put in its place. Sir?
Let's go to the syndicate now, shall we, Lewis? There's somebody we haven't spoken to yet who could be important. Noakes, is it?
That's right.
Chief Inspector Morse, Sergeant Lewis. You got a moment?
Suppose so.
Well, I wondered in particular if I could ask you a couple of questions about last Friday afternoon.
You're the police. You've got the right.
Fine, well, I've spoken to Dr. Roop, and he says when he arrived here about 4:30 with some papers for Dr. Bartlett, none of the graduates were in their offices.
Are you asking or telling?
I'm asking for confirmation.
Well, you've got it.
Might they have been elsewhere in the building? The toilet, for instance?
Well, all of them together.
Fair enough. Tell me, is it unusual for none of the graduates to be in the building?
Well, it can happen. They're supposed to leave a note on their desks if they go out.
Are they? And did any of them?
Only Quinn. And before you ask, I didn't read it.
When was the last time you saw any of them on that day?
I saw everyone milling around for the fire drill.
Fire drill? Anybody mention fire drill to you, Lewis?
No, sir.
Well, believe them, or believe me, or look in the register. Fire drill, 12 o'clock. Everyone out the front, present and correct. In the rain.
No, I believe you, Mr. Noakes.
Oh, Mr. Noakes now, is it?
Could I ask a question, sir? During the time the staff were absent, or at least out of their offices, were any of their cars here in the car park?
Only Mr. Quinn's.
And that remained here till the end of the afternoon?
It remained here until he drove it away around 5 o'clock.
But you didn't actually see him, though, did you, Mr. Noakes?
Oh, yes, I did. Even if it was raining. He tramped across here in his anorak, into the car, and off.
You're certain?
I just told you so, didn't I?
That seems like a clincher, doesn't it, sir? I mean, that's two people actually saw Quinn between 5 and 6. So he must have been alive when he reached his flat. Sir?
What?
I think you're developing selective hearing.
Everyone has an alibi for the evening, apart from Ogilvy. And he's trying so hard to incriminate himself with his hints about cyanide and his secret confidences from Quinn that he might as well confess if he actually did it. But where were they all in the afternoon?
Is that what you're planning to ask them?
Not all of them. Monica Height and Donald Martin I know about.
No, what about? So Monica Height did tell you something of interest last night?
Come on, Bartlett. Academia could be crumbling all around you.
Well, maybe he's not in his office.
There's one way to find out, isn't there? Dr. Bartlett. Oh. We seem to have caught him with his trousers down. Come on.
Should we really be doing this?
Use every psychological advantage you can, Lewis.
What? Oh, Inspector.
Sorry, are we barging in?
Yeah,
Just a couple of points to clear up, Dr. Bartlett. We won't take a minute.
Well, I do have a lunch shortly, but, yes, please, sit down.
Thank you. Well, the first thing is the fire drill on Friday. I assume you were responsible for calling it, yet you never mentioned it to myself or my sergeant here.
Nobody asked. The subject never came up. I didn't think it was important.
Seems to me that on the day a member of staff was murdered, everything would be important. I assume Quinn was present.
Yes, so far as we can check the list.
And we will. Secondly, this happy little family in which Donald Martin and Monica Height could spend the afternoon shagging each other silly. As a father figure, what was your view on that?
How do you find out?
It's my job to find things out. I'm a policeman. Well?
I think there are one or two other things you might need to know. I am in rather a rush right now, but I wonder, would you care to come round to my house this evening? I'm sure my wife could lay on dinner.
Very well. 8 o'clock?
Perfect. I'll look forward to it.
When did you discover that, sir? About Monica Height and Donald Martin? Was that what she had to tell you last night?
Amongst other things. Afternoon. 2, please. Oh, and I'll treat you to the hire of a costume, Lewis.
Me? No, but I don't want to...
Clears the mind wonderfully. I won't say it's a substitute for beer, but...
There you go, sir.
Thank you. Oh, yes, Corporation Brown. Very you, Lewis.
Yeah, but sir, I mean, even if you're right, even if Mopes and the supermarket woman were mistaken in identifying
They
Quinn,
were. I just need to work out why.
and if he was actually killed in the afternoon somewhere else than at his flat, well, the fact that Monica Haidt claims that she and Donald Martin were... I mean, it's hardly an alibi, is it? I mean, if she can threaten to spill the beans to his wife...
You've really got it in for her, haven't you, Lewis?
No, not at all, sir. But you have to admit that, objectively, the evidence looks damning.
You're saying that I'm not being objective?
Well, she is a very attractive woman.
And I am an overweight, middle-aged man. Well, I can hardly fault you there.
And perhaps if her daughter was taking exams that she wanted to...
Nice try, Lewis. But the syndicate only operates abroad, remember? And while Sally Haidt is resitting some GCSEs...
Sally?
Yes, I met her last night. I was in Monica Haidt's front room when you rang.
You were... Oh, I see.
No, Lewis, I don't think Monica Haidt would have lied to me about sleeping with Martin. If she hadn't. As you said yourself, Martin is something of a wimp. Can hardly be a very flattering admission for a woman.
Yeah, but if she needed to... if it was an alibi... Sir, wait a minute.
Lewis, please take a shower before entering the pool, right?
Sir, could I just make one final point?
Yeah, feel free. I gave you your head in this case, didn't I?
Well, yeah, let's accept that neither Donald Martin nor Monica Haidt poisoned Quinn. I mean, let's suppose Ogleby has some misguided reason for wanting to falsely incriminate himself. That only leaves one member of the syndicate. And you've just accepted dinner at his house.
Now that, Lewis, is what I call a very good point. This afternoon, I want to speak to Ogleby. And as you seem to have made telephone inquiries your own field of endeavour, I suggest that you check whether or when Quinn made that call to his old school. All right, are you ready?
For what, sir?
I'm feeling in rather good shape. What about a race at the far end? All right?
Go! What?
Last Friday, during the day, I was here at the syndicate in the morning, then went down to the Oxford University Press to meet the chief printer, and got back about, 3:30, I should think.
After which?
After which I stayed until I left, at 4:45. You've caught me there. Guilty of skiving off the last 15 minutes. But there was nothing much happening.
And the secretary wasn't here keeping an eagle eye out?
Bartlett.
Would I be right in thinking you've been at the syndicate longer than Dr. Bartlett?
Indeed you would. About 5 years longer.
Would it be indelicate to ask why you are not the secretary and he is?
Not at all. He was voted in by the board. They thought him the better candidate.
You didn't resent that?
Of course I did. I still do. Question of what I can do about it, though, isn't it?
In all your years here, have you ever come across evidence of malpractice?
Naturally. Candidates take notes into examinations or copy from someone else. Happens 2 or 3 times a year. But the invigilators or the examiners pick it up. If you're stupid enough to need to cheat, you're normally stupid enough to be caught.
What about something slightly more systematic?
Expand.
Or local headmaster who revealed the papers to his pupils, or an examiner who simply upped the marks.
They'd be slitting their own throats. We have statistics going back years. Any sudden abnormality we'd pick up immediately.
Very well. What if
somebody at the very top was crooked?
Oh.
Yes, that would work. They could cover it up nicely. But it would have to be somebody at the centre, somebody here.
Mr. Ogleby, I'm going to be straight with you because I don't see any other way of putting this. You say you were here at the syndicate from 3:30 to 4:45 last Friday afternoon. But I have 2 witnesses who say that you weren't.
Really? How intriguing.
Yes, they say that there were no graduates in the building for at least half of that time.
Do they now?
So what's your answer?
My answer is that whoever your witnesses are, they must be lying.
Your car wasn't in the car park.
I didn't come by car on Friday. I only live in Walton Street. It isn't far away.
But the witnesses...
are mistaken. Oh, dear. Have I made your life difficult, Inspector?
Well, I'm prepared to leave it there for the moment. Just one more thing. What was the concert you listened to in the evening?
Chamber music. 2 of Beethoven's late string quartets in E and A minor. Do you know them?
Yes. Yes, they're amongst my favourites.
Listen to me. You have no option. I told you, anyone who comes too close will have to be got rid of. Anyone. You have absolutely no alternative.
Well, that was an excellent meal, Mrs. Bartlett. Very kind of you to have me round, particularly at such short notice.
Oh, not at all. Would you like a coffee? Inspector?
What? Sorry? I've been doing a bit of swimming lately. I think my ears are getting a bit blocked up.
I said, would you like a coffee?
Yes, that would be lovely, thank you.
I'll leave you together for a moment.
Quinn, you know, could be quite comical about his mishearings. The pub near the Syndicate, the Horse and Trumpet, he thought we called it the Orson's Trumpet.
Well, it really must have taken a lot of courage to go through life as he did.
Yes, which is why I don't want you to get the wrong end of the stick. It's true that none of us was close to him, but I at least valued Quinn a great deal.
Even if you didn't want to employ him in the first place? Well, that's what Dr. Roop told me.
Roop? That bearded hippie.
Roop? Ogilvy? Seems you're not entirely popular at the Syndicate, Dr. Bartlett.
I'm not there to win friends. I'm in charge. I keep a tight ship, and that doesn't always endear you to people.
Doesn't always mean you can trust them to get on with their work, either. I mean, for instance, when you were away on Friday afternoon, where were you, by the way?
Addressing a headmaster's conference in Banbury. One of the more trying aspects of the job is that one is thought to be fair game for anyone wanting a talk on examination systems.
And you came straight home from there?
That's right.
Tell me, Dr. Bartlett, why did you need to appoint Nicholas Quinn to the Syndicate in the first place?
Because his predecessor had left.
That would be George Bland.
Yes.
Why did Bland leave the Syndicate?
In search of pastures new.
Would those pastures by any chance have been in Al-Jamara?
How much do you know, Inspector?
Well, that depends on how much there is to know, doesn't it? And I got a feeling that you invited me here this evening to give me something of the overall picture.
I have no proof of this, you understand. But I have reason to suspect that George Bland was, and perhaps had been for some years, undermining the work of the Syndicate in the Middle East. In Al-Jamara in particular. He may have felt he was near discovery, and that's why he fled. I'm not sure.
You never went to the police?
I had no proof, as I say.
And you didn't want to damage the precious reputation of the Syndicate by a public scandal?
That I am guilty of, yes.
Well, what would you say if I told you that Quinn had unearthed absolute proof of Bland's corruption, and that was why he was killed?
I'm afraid I would not be at all surprised. It struck me from the first as a possibility.
Then why didn't you...
Inspector, you cannot possibly understand what it has cost me to bear this alone. The thought that Bland may have returned, perhaps only for a couple of hours, killed Quinn, and then flown back to Al-Jamara.
You didn't have to bear it alone.
We have no extradition treaty with Al-Jamara. I checked that. Bland is untouchable. Justice cannot possibly be done. In the circumstances, it seemed to me that the reputation of the Syndicate, and, in a way, of Britain as a whole, ought to be upheld.
Well, that's a very old-fashioned way of looking at things, Dr. Bartlett.
Perhaps, but it's my way.
Then I can only say it's perhaps just as well that you're wrong.
About what?
About George Bland. Oh, I don't doubt that he was involved in selling and then covering up examination passes, but I don't think he killed Quinn, though he may have ordered his death.
Well, then who?
You see, once Bland was safe in Al-Jamara, there'd be no need for violence if his scheme had come to an end. He'd only need Quinn out of the way if the traffic in exam passes was still going on, because Quinn had the evidence to blow it wide open. And if that traffic was continuing, Bland would need someone else at the Syndicate to ensure that it ran smoothly.
I repeat my question. Who?
I'll get it.
I honestly can't be sure at the moment. As you said yourself, academics are not on the whole well paid. Money could have been an inducement for anyone. But I do know one thing. You won't be able to keep the evidence of corruption to yourself. It'll have to come out.
There's a board meeting of the Syndicate tomorrow. Perhaps if you were to attend?
Of course.
It's for you, Inspector, Oxford City Police.
What? Oh, thank you.
Have you finished? Should I bring the coffee in now?
Morse here, yeah.
Sorry?
Yes?
Oh, yes, I suppose so.
When? All right, I'll be right over. Thank you.
What's the matter, Inspector?
Some more tragic news, I'm afraid. It's Ogleby. He's been murdered.
Morse. Morse. Morse.
Morse? Yes? I'm sorry, sir. Got a bit of trouble with my...
He's through in his living room, and no prettier than the last one. Louis got here ahead of you.
Oh, sir.
Oh, my God. Who found him?
Someone not unknown to you, Morse. Monica Haidt.
What?
She had the key to his front door, apparently, sir.
Where is she now?
Radcliffe Hospital. Shock. The press are going to have a field day with this. Get onto it, Morse. And skip the philandering in favour of a result, would you?
Come on then, Doc. Give me the details.
Hit with this poker, probably while he was bending over the fire. The blow smashed through the cranium into the brain, which is what you can see.
Yes, thank you very much. Whoever did it would have needed a fair amount of strength, then.
Not necessarily, if you swung the poker the right way.
Are the prints on the poker?
None at all, sir.
Well, there's a surprise. Ogleby. He may have been obstructive, he may have been an outright liar for all I know, but we did have something in common.
What was that, sir?
Music written by a deaf man. You had a look round the house?
Yeah, a brief one, sir. No clues to anyone's presence apart from Miss Hyatt.
What on earth was she
But there is
doing?
something else of interest. This was on the bedside table upstairs. I wouldn't have thought twice about it, except it's not the sort of thing you'd usually read to send yourself to sleep.
Medical toxicology. Well, I suppose if chemistry was one of his specialities...
All right, sir, but it's slightly more than that. There's a slip of paper marking one of the pages. If you turn to it...
Hang on, H-I...
The left-hand page, sir.
Hydrocyanic acid.
When he talked about cyanide, he could quote chapter and verse. He'd been reading up on the subject. But, of course, if he really did poison Quinn, that doesn't answer the question of why. Except that... Well, if you look at the piece of paper that was actually marking a page, there's the strangest thing of all.
What on earth?
No, I don't get it either, sir. But it's an exact copy, isn't it? I've got the original here. 102, rear lounge. Even the admission number's the same. 93550.
But why or how would Ogleby want to make a sketch of a cinema ticket belonging to Quinn? Why or how... Or maybe once more, Lewis, we should be asking ourselves the fundamental question of when.
She's in here, Inspector. I'll have to ask you not to be too long.
Very well.
Hello.
I thought you were asleep.
Resting. Somehow I could tell it was you. Sit down.
Okay.
I think it's the smell. That jacket again. You've worn it in too many pubs.
Quite a few, that's for sure. Well, how are you feeling?
Shaky. I thought he must have had a heart attack or something. I knelt down, touched his shoulder, and that's when I saw...
Why were you there?
I suppose I should have told you. I was helping to look after him.
I'm sorry? What did you say?
I was helping to look after him.
And what does that mean?
He was dying. Blood disease. He probably had less than a year. That's what the doctors said.
Did you go to see him often?
When I could. Well, there was nothing like... They just liked to talk.
Yeah, brother and sister.
I suppose so, yes. I don't know whether I made his life easier or not. I hope I did. At one point, when he couldn't face the weight, he was talking of killing himself.
Did he say how?
No. But I had the impression he'd decided on a fail-safe method. And given that he was a chemist...
Poison? Cyanide?
I really don't know. Who could have killed him? It was so brutal.
You didn't see anyone else?
No.
I never know quite whether to believe you, Monica.
Oh, that's the first time you've used my Christian name.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Yesterday evening, when you first said you'd finished with Donald Martin, I assumed you meant a while ago. And then you said it was Friday afternoon and that you'd made love at your house just to make sure there were no recriminations on either side. And when we were there together, I got the impression that if Sally hadn't been home...
Yes. I am attracted to you, if that's what you mean.
And I am to you. But in the same bed that Donald Martin had been in less than a week before.
Supposing that wasn't the case.
But it was. Wasn't it? Well, you told me it was. Look, I have to go. Someone killed Quinn and Ogleby. And the way we're going, I'll end up with no suspects left.
Morse? What's your Christian name?
Goodbye, Monica.
She needs rest, and it's very
Look,
late.
I'm worried about her, and she is my fiancée.
Well, I suppose in that case...
Hello, Martin.
Inspector.
I'm sure your fiancée will be very pleased to see you.
Inspector, you must understand. My wife and I... Well, for some years now, we haven't been together in a physical sense.
I can't hear you, Martin. I can't hear you at all. Supposing that wasn't the case. But that was the case, wasn't it? Always is the case. Oh my God, I never even saw it. Do yourself a favor, Morse. Accept the inevitable. You're getting old. You've missed your chances. If there ever were any. Damn it. It's like someone leaning on a doorbell in the back of your head. Quinn had to live like this from birth to death. From the moment he was born to the Of course. Of course.
Sorry, sir, are you with me?
Intermittently. It's all this blackboard business.
Well, there are no clear leads on Ogilby's death. He probably invited the killer in and turned his back, which meant he trusted them. But Martin says he was at home. Monica Height, as we know, discovered the corpse. And, well, you were with Bartlett, weren't you, sir?
Sir?
So I think our best bet is to carry on trying to crack Quinn's murder. This is the evidence for his movements on Friday, in reverse order. Shopped in the supermarket at 6, left a note for the cleaner at 5:30, drove away from the syndicate around 5 o'clock.
Studio 2, what's that?
Ah, a little piece of intuition on my part, sir. The cinema ticket. It doesn't read 102 at all, but the last half of Studio 2. That's the cinema in Walton Street. Does a line in what you might call, adult films.
Yes, I know it, by reputation. Go on.
Well, while you were at the hospital, I went and checked Quinn's ticket. Just as far as the lobby, I should say. That number was issued last Friday afternoon, for the 1:30 showing.
Good work. Showing of what?
The Nymphomaniac from the North, with Inga Nielsen, sir. Now, that might account for him leaving his car and his anorak at the syndicate while he sloped off.
What might?
Well, I mean, he'd hardly want everyone to know he went there, would he? At any rate, that fills in the early part of the afternoon. Lunch is a blank at the moment, but I called the Frederick Delius School in Bradford, and yes, Quinn did phone there at 12:20.
What did he want?
Well, to talk to one or two of the staff about becoming part-time examiners. But there weren't any available, so he left a message with the school secretary.
And before that?
The fire drill at 12. His name was ticked off on the list, all right.
Yes, of course it was. It all fits, doesn't it?
In what way, sir?
How, why, where, and when. And as for who... Look, Lewis, just how deaf was Quinn?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, sir, because I asked the school secretary. Very deaf indeed, apparently.
Almost run over by a cart, so the publican told me.
Well, the secretary said that if you spoke very close to his better ear, the one with a hearing aid, he could pick it up. So he could manage some phone work. Most of the rest of the time he relied on lip reading.
Yes, of course he'd have to.
At which he was something of an expert, so she said. Now, as to the gaps in this list...
Wait a minute. How did the school secretary know it was Quinn on the line?
Well, because he said who he was, and she recognised his voice.
Lewis, if you'd worked in a school, You'd know that 12:20 is a hopeless time to ring and get hold of any of the teachers. Classes never finish before 12:30.
Well, maybe he couldn't ring later.
She recognized his voice. What does that mean? Over the phone. Everybody's voice is distorted. You don't get all the registers.
Yeah, but...
Don't interrupt me, Lewis. Now, your woman at the supermarket, she recalled Quinn. How?
By his hearing aid, the anorak.
The accent, you said.
That's right, yeah, and the beard.
The beard. That's it. That is it. And what did he buy?
Well, I'm not sure, but when I did the inventory, the fridge held 2 steaks, a chilled pudding, 2 packets of butter.
2 packets of butter. Was he planning death by cholesterol poisoning or what? Even if he was expecting a guest, 2 packets of butter, Lewis. Can you see it, Lewis?
Well, I'm afraid I can't see it.
And the note on his desk, you remember that? What do you think it read? Gone to see a dirty movie?
What, I don't...
Lewis, you have been brilliant.
Have I?
In a completely unintentional way, of course. Come on.
Where are we going?
To take in a little higher education.
Oh.
Purification controls for inorganic elements and compounds also differ
Right, this
from
is
normal
good.
industrial chemical controls. Industrial zinc oxide, for example, may contain 10% impurities, including traces of lead. Pharmaceutical zinc oxide must be 99% pure, with, as you might imagine, no lead whatsoever. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock on Thursday for the next lecture. Thank you. Okay.
Well, you're a popular lecturer, Dr. Roop.
I hope so. It's what the university employs me for. Are you coming to the board meeting of the syndicate this afternoon?
Yes, I think I am, but I wanted a quick word with you first, as a matter of fact.
What about?
When I say word, I mean words. Dr. Charles Roop, I'm arresting you in connection with the murder of Nicholas Quinn. Take his arm, will you, Lewis?
This way, sir.
Well, you had some luck in this business, Roop, but you distinctly overplayed your hand. Not in coming forward to volunteer information. That was a nice touch, particularly since they were all facts I was bound to find out anyway. No, it was gilding the lily and the movement of Quinn's corpse that really gave you away.
You're making an awful fool of yourself, Inspector. That's all I've got to say.
I don't think so, Roop. Too much stacks up against you. Your accent and your beard, for a start. Yeah, they must have seemed like advantages at the time. Anyone who didn't know Quinn and heard him described as a bearded Yorkshireman might well have taken you for him. And if you were to wear his anorak and his hearing aids...
Would you mind telling me who exactly I'm supposed to have been taking in?
The woman at the supermarket checkout, for one. Not, I think, that was part of the original plan, but once you got back to Quinn's flat with his body in the boot of his car and found that the cleaning lady was going to return, you had to do something. Something to convince her that Quinn was still alive until you could dump his body after she'd gone. Luckily, at the syndicate, you'd picked up the note from his desk, the note that may well have been there from the morning, and read, gone shopping, isn't that right, Lewis?
Yeah, just off shopping, shan't be long, NQ.
Exactly. And so you went to the supermarket and actually did some shopping, although you should have checked what Quinn already had in his fridge, because the packet of butter was a mistake. Still, you fooled enough people into thinking Quinn was killed in the evening by a mysterious visitor. Certainly had Lewis going, didn't he, Lewis?
And why, tell me, am I supposed to have had Quinn's body in the boot of his car?
Because he was dead, of course. He'd been poisoned at some earlier point in the afternoon, before you arrived at the syndicate with that excuse about leaving some papers in Bartlett's office.
It wasn't an excuse. I left the papers in Bartlett's office.
Afterwards, you crossed the car park in the rain with Quinn's anorak on, thus convincing the caretaker you were him.
So I killed Nicholas Quinn?
Oh, is that a confession?
I helped Quinn get the job. I'd been friendly to him.
Of course you had. The fewer people likely to have had all their wits about them at the syndicate, the better for your purposes. Or, I should say, yours and George Bland's purposes. Except that, unfortunately, Quinn had far more wit than he appeared to. Still, the fact that you befriended him meant that once he discovered Bland's corruption, he came and told you about it.
When exactly did I kill him, Inspector?
Well, you tell me.
No, you tell me. I've already said that I was in London all morning and came back to Oxford on the 3:15 train.
I only have your word for that.
No, you don't, Inspector. You may remember I said I took a taxi from the station.
Yes.
Might I use the phone a moment?
Well, it's a bit irregular, but, Lewis...
Interview broken at 11:33 a.m, DS Lewis. There you are, sir. Dial 9 for outside.
Well, it seems I may owe you an apology, Dr. Roop.
An apology? You are going to owe me a lot more than that, Inspector. You are going to owe me a substantial amount of damages for false arrest.
No need to shout, Dr. Roop.
No need to... Have you any idea what you're saying?
I'm sorry I didn't catch that.
I take it I'm free to go.
Yes, of course. I'm sure Sergeant Lewis will be happy to drive.
No, thank you very much. I've had quite enough of your hospitality for one day.
Oh dear, sir. The Chief isn't going to like that.
You don't think the Chief is going to like this, do you, Lewis?
That's what
Well, I don't believe he'll ever get to hear of it. Things are shaping up very nicely.
You mean you're convinced Roop was involved?
Oh, yeah. Everything I accused him of was true. Didn't you hear him lecturing? Industrial chemistry, if I'm not mistaken.
So he may have access to cyanide. But if you're right that Quinn was killed in the early afternoon, Roop couldn't have murdered him.
Did I accuse him of that? I arrested him in connection with the murder of Nicholas Quinn, that's all. And he was scared enough to confirm exactly what I needed to know, that he'd been in Bartlett's office that afternoon. And that's the confirmation that he had a helper.
I don't... Why don't I just listen, sir?
Look, no one man could have been responsible for the death of Nicholas Quinn. One man actually poisoned him, of course, in the way that I demonstrated. Invited Quinn into his office, asked him to help himself to a sherry, and that was that. And that same person could have got Quinn into the boot of his car. Quinn wasn't the heaviest of men.
What? Carry him out through the syndicate building to the car park without anyone noticing?
I thought you were listening, Lewis.
Sorry, sir.
I'll get to that in due course. The point is that once Quinn was stowed away, the actual killer could carry on with his daily life, while Roop, who had an alibi for the actual time of death, could set about inventing a new time of death, thus putting his fellow conspirator in the clear. It's ingenious, you've got to give them that.
Give who that, sir? Who was Roop's fellow conspirator?
Now you're asking me to spoil my little surprise, Lewis. All the board members here for the syndicate meeting. It'll be rather a dramatic moment, I should think.
It may seem odd to you all that I have decided to continue with this regular monthly meeting, given the events of the last week. However, I think in the first place we must do whatever we can to ensure that the Foreign Examination Syndicate continues its valuable work. There is, however, another reason why I wanted you here today, and that is why Inspector Morse and his sergeant have joined us. It's come to his and my attention that there have been certain irregularities in the syndicate's dealings with the Middle East, in particular with Al-Jamala. Now, I think he should take over. Inspector?
Thank you, Dr. Bartlett. Yes, it is true that I was going to speak of the fixing of examination results in general and the role of one or two individuals in particular. I note with interest that Dr. Roop is not here, although he had planned to come. Well, it doesn't matter, we'll run him to ground. There is, however, more important business on hand, and I must apologize to Dr. Bartlett for not taking quite the line he expected. Also for putting him under some rather unexpected peer pressure.
No, not sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you all knew Nicholas Quinn. Between you, despite some objections, you appointed him. And I've no doubt that you have, each and every one of you, been speculating about his death. Well, you need speculate no more, because I'm now in a position to reveal every unpleasant detail of it. Moreover, to tell you, within 60 seconds, the actual time of it. Lewis?
Sir?
Dr. Bartlett, I imagine it's well known that you got on with neither Dr. Roop nor Mr. Ogleby.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
One of those enmities was real. Ogleby had every reason to be envious of the Secretary's success. The other, I have to say, was a fiction.
What?
A cover. A blind. Is it true, Dr. Bartlett, that you called a fire drill for 12 noon last Friday?
Yes.
Yeah. It was during that fire drill, ladies and gentlemen, at exactly the moment the bell was ringing and everyone was scurrying down corridors towards the front of the building, that Quinn was killed. And why at that precise moment? Because the killer had planned it that way. Because Quinn could not hear the bell, nor all the movement outside Dr. Bartlett's office.
My office?
He sipped the sherry which had been offered to him, and he died. And then, while everyone was standing miserably in the rain outside the front of the building, Quinn's body was carried to his car at the rear. The killer then rejoined the others, and ensured that his own and Quinn's name was ticked off on the list. The rest I won't bore you with, ladies and gentlemen, because I think what you all want to know is who that killer was. But I think I've left it reasonably clear, haven't I?
Oh, me? But, Inspector, you can't...
You knew there'd been corruption, didn't you? But you didn't want to investigate it.
The reputation of the syndicate...
And Ogilvy was onto you, wasn't he? Can you deny that? Ogilvy was convinced you were at the centre of the cover-up.
Yes, very well. Ogilvy had a fixation.
And why? Because Nicholas Quinn had confided in him, had given him the evidence which implicated you directly. Not the letter to George Bland, but something else. Something he'd overheard, or, in his case, overseen. Is that not right?
Inspector, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to be as honest with you as I can. Yes, Philip Ogilvy did accuse me of corruption. And, yes, it was because of something Quinn had seen. Or rather, lip-read. But I can only say they were wrong. Both of them.
Then I suggest you say that down at the station, Dr. Bartlett. And we'll put it on paper and you can sign it. And if a jury believes you, it'll all be torn up and forgotten. The reception, or jamboree, that the syndicate gave for the education department of Al Jamara. That's where it happened. Bartlett admits as much. Quinn looked across a crowded room and saw one of the sheikhs mouth Bartlett's name and specify a payment. Shocked, Quinn then told Ogilvy what he'd seen.
But Bartlett still denies he killed Quinn.
Oh, yes, says Quinn was mistaken. And Ogilvy, of course, but it all fits together too neatly.
I have to say, sir, I still don't understand the whole business with the cinema ticket.
Now, that's where Roop and Bartlett really tried to be too clever for their own good. They were so determined to fill the whole of Quinn's last imaginary afternoon.
You don't think Quinn would have gone to see a film like that, sir?
Well, I don't see why not. After all, if the real thing was out of reach in the form of Monica Haidt... what was I saying, Miss?
The cinema, sir.
Yeah, the cinema. Well, it obviously seemed a good way for Bartlett and Roop to fill in a couple of hours of Quinn's time, so Bartlett went and bought a ticket and Roop planted it in the waste paper bin for us to find.
And Ogilvy's copy?
Well, that's what implicates Bartlett up to the hilt. Bartlett had to go off to his conference, so he left the ticket on his desk for Roop to pick up when he dropped the notes in the office. Now, if you remember, Ogilvy swore he was in the syndicate building that afternoon when even the caretaker said none of the graduates was there.
Yes, sir.
Well, Ogilvy was telling the truth. He'd taken the opportunity of Bartlett's absence to search his office for evidence of corruption. And the only suspicious thing he found was the cinema ticket. Seemed to be there for a purpose, so he left it, but copied it.
And why didn't Roop see him when he came into the office?
Think about it, Lewis. Bartlett, as secretary, had a similar office to all the others, but he did have one privilege.
His own toilet.
Exactly. And that's where Ogilvy hid.
Well, he must have been pretty certain of what was going on.
Easy to say that with the benefit of hindsight. I should think it was pretty mystifying at the time. But he was determined to nail Bartlett somehow, and with his own resources, if it took him the rest of his days.
Which turned out to be fewer than he thought.
Indeed. Has Roop been picked up yet?
No word, but there's a message with all cars. I suppose most of these papers of Quinn's could go back to the syndicate. The ones we don't need as evidence.
There'll be plenty of room. The syndicate building isn't going to be exactly full. You could more or less draw a line through the headed paper.
Graduates, T. Bartlett, P. Ogilvy, M. Haidt, D. Martin, N. Quinn. Only the two of them left.
What did you say, Lewis?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I said, only two of them left.
No, Dick, before that.
Well, I was reading the list.
Read it again.
Graduates, T. Bartlett...
No, stop. Look at me while you read. And speak at a normal level.
Yeah, but if your hearing's on...
Just do it, man.
Graduates, T. Bartlett, P. Ogilvy, M. Haidt, D. Martin, N. Quinn.
Lewis, go over by the door, take the list, and just mouth the names.
Whatever you say, sir.
All right. Go. And again. Oh, my God.
What, sir?
I've made the most appalling mistake, Lewis. We need to move quickly. Bartlett, Martin, Dr. Bartlett, Donald Martin. It's not just that they sound similar, it's that watching the lips you can't tell the difference at all. Everything I'd mapped out for Bartlett was true, except that it was Martin who did it all.
So Quinn was mistaken?
Left here, Lewis. If Martin isn't at the syndicate or at home, I'll place money on where we'll find him. God, what a conceited idiot I've been.
Yeah, I must say, it didn't quite seem in the secretary's character.
Bartlett had an almost blinkered dedication to building the syndicate up, not milking it for all it was worth. And left again.
Well, isn't this...
We're going to Monica Hyde's house. She'll be out of the hospital now, and I'll give you 2 guesses who brought her home. All that nonsense about finishing with a bang, as it were, last Friday.
Now that you mention that, sir...
That I could ever have believed a word she said.
I've got a feeling there was yet another untruth. I meant to say something before, but what with Ogilvy's death... I don't think Martin and Monica Hyde could have slept together on Friday, sir.
What?
Well, if Monica's daughter was retaking exams, she'd probably have been at home last Friday revising.
Good God, yes. Monica tried to tell me that. What if it weren't the case?
Though, exactly why she should lie about that as well.
Martin had told her to lie, to cover up what they'd actually done. Gone to a dirty movie. Is that where I've been going wrong with women all my life, do you think, Nurse?
I really couldn't say so.
Anyway, they'll be making up for lost time now. Pull up here and we'll give them the surprise of their lives. There's a side passage. I want you to ring the front doorbell.
Come on, open up, please.
Wait a minute.
Open the door, now.
What on earth is it, Sergeant?
Having a bath, were you, madam?
It's none of your business. I object.
Mr. Martin, are you there? This is the Thames Valley Police and I have a warrant...
It's
for your
lies!
arrest.
Whatever Ruth's been telling you, it's all lies!
Out of my way, please, madam.
Get in his way! For once in your useless life, do something, woman!
All right, that's as far as you're going, Martin.
You're a nasty bit of work, aren't you, Martin, eh? That's what happens if you resist arrest.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. How's the year, sir?
Oh, God, bloody painful, actually, Lewis. Just as well he didn't land another blow. Funny thing is, though, I can hear as clear as a bell again.
Oh, well, every cloud.
Yes, there's a few silver linings, aren't there? Bartlett was philosophical about my rush of blood to the head. We've landed Roop.
And there are no charges against Monica Hyde?
Well...
Still got a soft spot for us?
No. Well, that is... You can't help but feel sorry for her, can you? Falls for somebody like Martin, who turns out to be a double murderer. Hasn't the faintest idea how she was being used.
Well, there's nothing to stop you getting in touch with her at the syndicate.
No, Lewis. Love 'em and leave 'em. That's my motto.
Really, sir?
Yeah. Anyway, sup up.
Oh, we're not going on a pub crawl, are we, sir? Now that you've kicked the healthy life into touch?
Not for the moment, Lewis. Maybe a little later on. And there was another woman I had in mind seeing.
Another woman?
Yes, a Miss Inga Nielsen, I think the name was.
Miss Oh.
Do you care to join me?
I don't think
Come on, Lewis. Wife can hardly be jealous. It's only celluloid.
Well,
Come on, man.
Nej, men det var bra. Ja, just det. Du måste inte stoppa.
What do you think, Lewis?
I'm not sure, sir. I'm having a bit of difficulty with the subtitles.
You what?
Colin Dexter's The Silent World of Nicholas Quinn, with John Shrapnel as Inspector Morse and Robert Glenister as Sergeant Lewis, starred Richard Pascoe as Dr. Bartlett, with Meg Davis as Monica Hyde and Stephen Critchlow as Donald Martin. Philip Ogleby was played by David Timpson. Dr. Roop and Chief Superintendent Strange, John Hartley. Sergeant Dixon, Lyndon Gregory, and Nicholas Quinn, Roger May. Other roles were played by Alex Rafai, Dennis Hawthorne, Geoffrey Whitehead, Jane Whittenshaw, Zulema Dean, Caroline Strong, Patience Tomlinson, Tracy Wiles, David Holt, Ahmed Mustafa, and Alice Arnold. The Silent World of Nicholas Quinn was dramatized by Guy Meredith. The director was Ned Shire.